Welcome to week 21 from the ground up, where we are trying to reseed the infrastructure of food production across the UK and hopefully one day the world. I'm checking in because I'm behind, even later than I am usually. It's now Thursday today, and I haven't posted for this week, and so now I'm in between 2 weeks and just late in general. But I spent this week basically trying to keep everyone cool and also improve the platform as we go as well. So we'll get into it. What we do in these sessions, we talk through the three main projects that I'm working on. One, which is a farm over in here in Essex, which you can see here. We have a flock of heritage breed hens out here in the field, and also we've got some cattle who are currently in having their morning hay. And what we're trying to do here is trying to see if you can make small farming profitable. And what I mean by small farming is probably micro farming, in the sense that we don't plan on going above 1,000 birds here. We've got a herd of cattle of about 24 head of Australian lowline, which are miniature Aberdeen Angus, and we probably won't go much above 30. I'd like to go more, but I can't see it working. And so it's micro farming, overgrown hobby farming here, but we want to see if we can make money doing it. And then second project we run is social media. It's kind of what we're doing here, although I don't view this as social media just yet. This is more me just documenting what we're up to, making sure that I'm recording it, and so I can remember the progress that we've made and appreciate it really. And then finally, I'm building the operating system for sustainable food, and that is Yosis. And what I mean by that is I'm trying to consolidate all the effort that goes on across the supply chain, from retailers all the way through to producers, processors and the like, and trying to build a coherent workflow that works for all of us. So start back on the farming. Look at my grass, which is actually growing reasonably well. There's not too much ground coverage. That's the ground. That's the ground. But we're almost there. Look at that. It's starting to look like a paddock. I mean, this is a field of buttercups at the end, which is looking less buttercuppy because I'm going over seeding for my growing next buttercups next year. But I'm not going to spray them. There's no point in trying to spray something if I'm trying to get everything to grow. They're just evidence of, well, what's wrong with the soil. We have started muck spreading a little bit, which works reasonably well actually. But this is almost ready to start grazing. We've got probably two trailers loads left. Thanks to Julian for helping us out there. Trailer worths of hay, that is. So it's probably going to get us into June. And in doing so, just give this grass as much rest as possible. We've also got another paddock in the village that's just come up for option, been offered to us, which is really good. There's not much grass in there, but it's more than where I've been moving the calves. The calves haven't got any grass in their field, so it'll be more than that. Chickens are still chickening. To be honest with you, with everything that's been going on, the chickens have been the hardest to keep sort of under control and momentum on, and my enthusiasm on. They're just unrelentingly hard work, but I absolutely still adore them. Trying to keep things cool this week. It's been up to 31, 32 degrees here, and even hotter in the direct sun. And chickens don't sweat, so they have to get airflow and they have to be in the shade. It's been hard work. We've got fans running, we've got water pools acting like air conditioning, we've got a lot of shade going up, trying to just keep things cool. This house over here has been the hardest to keep cool because it's just in this, it's surrounded by trees. It's not got many chickens in, but it's definitely been the hardest to keep cool. So that has just consumed our time mostly this week. Good little spaniel staying with us. Hello, little spaniel. And a big spaniel. Hello, big spaniel. I'm not selling enough eggs to make them work for them, and we send a lot of eggs to charity at the moment, which works for us because it means I'm not wasting eggs, but I just need to build the egg round. But I refuse to build an egg round on the other platform and then have to migrate it later. So I'm waiting for my developer, which is me, to sort out my local platform, which will be 30 Mile Farms, and then 30 Mile Farms will actually be, I was reflecting this week that 30 Mile Farms, what 30 Mile Farms is and will be, is almost a almost a catalogue of local producers, and then people can build off the top of that. But that will be built on top of Yosis. But before we get into Yosis, we'll touch briefly on social media. I just haven't done a drop. Like a poor TikTok. I was halfway through a series over there, and I just had to drop it. And not intentionally, not anything other than I posted a couple of videos that did pretty well, and I guess probably took wind out of my sails of doing the daily videos for like 6,000-7,000 views, when doing the interesting stuff I know now can get me like 50,000 views and above. But I do feel bad, and so much so that when I'm not on TikTok, I close the app and I don't even browse it, and so there's probably comments and messages asking where I am, things like that. So I do feel bad. I'm trying to get back to that as soon as possible, but that leads me to my probably main theme of the week, which is, whereas I've talked before, I've got 3 levers of work. One is the farm, which is always down and just flat out, and then social media and Yosis, and usually I can leave them all. As Yosis takes shape and form, that lever has some resistance going back up to the neutral position. So running a platform, it takes a colossal amount of work, and usually a team of at least 10, depending on what kind of platform you are. The operating team that I left at my previous job started at 3-4 and has got to well into the double figures, I think probably early 20s by the time I'd left. So there's a lot of work to do, which I knew going in. It's just starting to take shape now. Congratulations to Stephen and Johannes for 2 things. One is their first wild order, and what I mean by wild order is someone coming along, finding their webpage and purchasing some eggs from them, which is very exciting. It was unfortunate I managed to get the wrong order date on it, just because the flow that the person came through, we hadn't been testing as thoroughly as the others. But fortunately, we spotted it early, fixed it, problems fixed, and I think Johannes and Stephen are happy and okay with it. You don't get many chances of getting things like that stuff wrong. I mean, obviously an order date isn't massive, but these problems can be big because you miss stuff. And so I don't get many opportunities to get it wrong in terms of confidence in the platform, and Stephen and Johannes are very, very supportive of that. However, I don't want to misplace that trust, and I don't want to lose it especially. So that and future customers will be less tolerant because they're less bought in of the vision. So I'm going to have to spend more time on the platform, make sure the one thing I want to do is start getting volume testing going, and what volume testing is concept of testing for future expected volumes. So I want to know what my platform does when I've got 1,000 users trying to access it in the same sort of 20-minute period. Well, I think probably 100 users to begin with, but you'll go through stage gates, and then as we get up to hundreds of thousands, which I wouldn't have to rush or worry about too soon, I want to make sure that it works before we get there, rather than having to fix stuff on the fly. The whole concept of testing, and we do have quite a comprehensive test suite, but sometimes the live environment, I'm still worried. I'm still struggling getting my live environment completely replicated in staging. So things like Stripe have been something that I've struggled to replicate and test easily, but I do a lot of manual testing with Stripe in a staging environment. And what staging is deployed to the world. It's on the internet, but it's not live. It's not something you push to customers. It's just something that is like prod, as it can be called, and it reflects what you do in production, but you can basically test, and it's all dummy data and fake data. So we've got that. So the second thing Johannes and Stephen are celebrating this week is they had their first egg this week, and phenomenally, they had their first egg on Monday or Tuesday, and then the following day they had 32 eggs. I was joking with Stephen the other day that he's going to be producing more eggs than we produce in a day here, and he's at chickens theoretically haven't even started laying yet. We're at about 200 eggs a day here, so he's going to be hot on our tails. Considering we've got 1,000 hens as well, and 1,000 hybrid hens who are going to lay well, and also they're all point of lay, so they're all going to lay well, and like absolute machines, little things. So that is going to be exciting because they're going to fly past me and they're going to get into what? So you've got 1,400 hens laying at probably an 80% rate. What is that? 1,200 eggs a day? 1,100 eggs a day? 1,200 eggs a day? Maybe a bit more. But quick maths is not my forte. But yeah, for the most part, I'm doing all right. There's a lot going on. I'm trying to get somebody in to come look after the farm a bit more, because that is the lever that I'm now going to have to take off because Yosis is now my full commitment. That is what's going to both, it has potential to both change my life, but also actually have an impact on the world around me. Building a farm here will help me and my family. It won't push the needle on anything else. So I've got to make sure that we're making progress here such that we're not wasting our time or money here, but at the same time freeing enough time so I can support my platform users and also grow that. I've got next Tuesday we're doing a demo. If you want to sign up for it, join the Discord and jump into the Yosis channel in there. And I'll be walking through a demo of, I guess it'll be 30-mile farm level, but I'll be talking and answering any questions anyone's got, and just having a chin wag, as some might say, and just catching up with you all. So if you're interested in joining a call and chatting things through, join the Discord. And Tuesday and Wednesday, I think. Tuesday and there's a couple of dates in there. We'll be doing them after work in the evening, so feel free to sign up. If not, I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next one.